Welcome back to the Kevin and Sean show. Once a week, Sean and I sit down and talk about the stuff that we like to talk about and try and get you guys involved too. This week, we are recording remotely. And Sean, man, how's it going?
Oh, just good as always, man. Just chilling here in the crib, you know.
Man, I do miss having you in my presence.
I agree, man. I miss having people that aren't just me and my roommate
Yeah.
in my presence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I'm liking the solitude. It's great, but like, I miss having you here recording the show once a week because that's what we did. We did once a week to hang out. So
Yeah, that's true.
But
I
we
just
got to
hate
hang
being
out.
told to be isolated. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I want to go be by myself, then I'll go be by myself. But I don't want people to tell me to do that.
Yeah.
But I understand it. It's for a better cause. Gotta just hold out.
Gotta do your part. Wanted to give a quick shout out to Joey Herrera real quick for playing Warzone with me and Sean this week. Dude, that was blast.
That was a lot of fun, man. I don't think I've ever played with Joey like for more than like a game or two, and I think I've only played with him like in person, just like
Yeah, it's always been in
around.
person.
But yeah, that was a ton of fun. We're jumping on some Warzone. Kev had to leave after a few games, and then me and Joey kept going for another couple hours. Ended up securing a nice solid dub, just the two of us in trios. So that was pretty. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Definitely gotta do it again soon.
Yeah. So if you guys want to hear a little more about Joey, he was actually on the Everyday podcast by our friend Caleb Vanderlucht. Shout out to him and Joey for giving us a shout out on that show too. That was super good. I like listening to that show. It's good to hear from Caleb, and obviously having Joey on there was cool too. So
yeah, the shout out just kind of threw me under the bus, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's
I'm
okay
with that.
Sean's got anger management problems. We all knew that, but I'm just kidding.
But yeah, go check out the show or Caleb's show. It's good. It's an interesting listen to.
Oh yeah. Another point of business is that Sean is cutting his hair on the IGs.
Yeah, so I think I mentioned on this podcast before, but my hair is getting pretty aggressively long, and it's driving me absolutely crazy. And they just extended the stay at home or state of emergency for another like month, roughly. I think until like the 28th. So salons and everything still aren't open. So I'm taking matters into my own hands. I'm gonna go buy clippers and give myself a haircut.
Love it.
And as soon as I find clippers, because they're sold out everywhere, because everybody has the exact same ideas that I do, I'm going to cut my hair on Instagram. It's going to be live. So come out and say hi. You might have already seen it by the time this goes live, but
check it out anyway.
Clippers. Check it out again.
Oh, yeah. Last point of business, Sean. You got some health problems.
Well, I don't know if it's a health problem, but I have like an ear infection or something. I don't know. I can't hear out of my right ear. I went to the doctor and he said throw some drops in it and then come back and I'll irrigate it on Monday, which is one of the more aggressive medical terms I've heard. Irrigation just sounds gross. You know what I'm saying?
Irrigation.
Yeah, it just doesn't sound good. Like I don't want to do that to my ear, but I got to do it because I can't hear anything at all on my right ear. So hopefully that gets cleared up and then I can hear things again.
Hopefully, man.
I miss hearing sounds.
We need you to be able to hear on your right ear when we're playing Call of Duty, man.
Seriously, man. Like literally, there was stuff I couldn't hear. I was getting run up on. I was like, I didn't even hear that guy.
Yep.
And I was
it's
like,
not the game's
my right
fault.
cup. But anyway, still shout out Dirty Kevin the boys. You know.
Oh yeah.
Still running shit.
So guys, we got a little bit different show for you guys today. We're trying something new. So we're gonna talk about Star Wars for a little bit. Star Wars: The Clone Wars. The last season is out. It's sweaty. It's good. But then we got a little top 5 action for you coming up. So when we get to that point, we will definitely let you guys know. But Sean, man, so I know you haven't kept up on the last season of the Clone Wars too often, and I don't want to talk about spoilers because it's not over yet. But how are you liking it in a general sense?
So I do like the season. Like I said last week, I haven't been physically watching it, but everybody's talking about it on social media because I follow a bunch of Star Wars pages, and so I kind of know the gist of what's going on. But I definitely want to go back and rewatch it. I might try to even binge it all tomorrow.
Yeah.
So Monday I can just watch that last episode and know what's really going on. But the other night I was up at 3 a.m. because of course I was, and the new episode drops, and I said no, screw it, I'm gonna watch it. So I watched that was the first full episode I've ever watched of the Clone Wars in a while, in a hot minute, especially of the new season. It was pretty killer.
It's a good episode.
It's really ramping up here.
Yeah, it's really good. Guys, if you haven't watched this, it's on Disney Plus. Start at episode 5. Starts with the story of Ahsoka. You know, you don't need to know much about her to get what's going on. You just got to get into it, and I promise you, by episode 9, you will know exactly where they're at and what the heck is going on in the Star Wars universe if you just watched the movies before in the past. So that's just what I gotta say about it. It's so good. Highly recommend. You gotta watch this. If you are any at all fan of Star Wars, you gotta watch it.
It's great content.
It's
That
great.
last episode was insane.
It's arguably like saving Star Wars a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Dave Filoni's killing it,
Yeah.
and it's nice to know that George enjoys it too.
It's good. It makes sense that he enjoys it. And without going into details of it, it just makes sense that he enjoys it
Yeah,
because it ties in all the work he did. Really nice.
and
So
not totally shitting on everything he did.
next week we will
Kathleen likes to
do. Yeah, seriously. Next week we will do a full review of the season. Sean will take a look at the whole thing. The last episode will be out, so we'll do a full spoiler review next week on Clone Wars, the final season. So
And Monday is May the 4th, so celebrate accordingly.
big holiday. Let us know what Star Wars movie you watch. We'll let you guys know what Star Wars movie we watch. But
You know what? We got an Instagram now. Why don't we post something? Why
Oh,
don't you
yeah.
guys hit us up if you're watching Star Wars or doing something in celebration of May the 4th?
tag us in your stories.
Yeah, hell yeah, do that.
Do
Tag
that.
us, tag the Instagram,
Oh yeah, Do it.
plug that shit.
do it. So yeah, man. May the 4th, big holiday coming up. Got to celebrate it right. So in lieu of May the 4th, Sean and I thought we would talk about our top 5 favorite moments of Star Wars. Kind of a general idea. Like it's not something that's gonna be super specific moments, but some of them might be actually. You know, there's going to be a lot of different types of things on here. Sean and I don't really talk about our lists too often on the show, so we thought we'd give you guys something of why we love Star Wars so much by talking about the nitty gritty of our favorite moments. So the way this is going to work, Sean and I both have a top 5 list and a few honorable mentions. Sean, you got like 2 or 3 honorable mentions?
I have 2, yeah.
So I have 3. So the way this works, so we don't talk about the same topic twice, is if something is higher than the other person's list, we will just pass or defer until we get to that point in the list, right? So we're going to go from 5 to 1. Probably take us a few minutes to get through this. So, stick around, keep track of it. Hopefully we can give you guys something interesting or something new you might not have known about the Star Wars universe. We're going to keep talking about stuff that's like in the movies and not in the movies. Some of it's going to be from TV shows and whatnot. So, might learn something new. I definitely recommend you guys stick around and listen to it. This should be pretty fun.
I'm excited.
So I guess I'll start with the honorable mentions for me. My lowest honorable mention is something that's got to be in there, is the Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and Darth Maul fight, episode 1.
Wow. Pass.
Pass. Figured it. Number 2 honorable mention for Kev. Wait, no, you go first. You go first.
You want me to go?
Yep, you
So
go.
I only have 7.
Yep.
And this is the Geonosis Arena fight with all the Jedi
I don't have it. Don't have it.
clones. I don't know, man. I just like it. I remember I recently watched Attack of the Clones. I think this was before. Yeah, this was before episode 9 came out,
Yeah.
where I saga'd. And it holds up, man. Like, that movie gets a lot of heat for being kind of weak. Probably one of the weaker bottom tier Star Wars movies.
Mm-hmm.
But man, that moment is like, it kind of redeems the movie for me.
No,
It's a big moment.
that third act of that movie is really good.
I agree.
I really like the third act of that movie. So it's funny because every time I think of that scene right now after the episode 9's been out, I think of all of the Jedi being
Yep.
part of Rey, and it's
Yep.
literally that. Like that's what I think of. No, it's definitely a really cool scene. It was definitely going to be like in the top 10 if we did top 10. But I love it. Is it just the scene with like all the lightsabers, or is it the Dooku fight as well?
Oh yeah, no, not the Dooku part, just the part in the arena. After they like escape,
Yeah,
like the chains and all that stuff.
the
But it's
Jango
cool
Fett
'cause,
part.
Huh?
Jango Fett.
Yeah, he gets his head cut off. It's great.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. I just like it. Like it's the only time you've ever seen that many lightsabers on screen.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a big lightsaber orgy, which is great though. And then like the clones come in and kind of save the day and kick some ass, which is cool. It's like the introduction of the clones in action.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
And
It's
it
just
shows
cool.
that the Jedi were beatable too. You
Yeah,
know,
I mean they're not soldiers. You know, they're guardians of the peace.
not if you ask Ahsoka.
Right.
Sorry.
So
But
that's a
yeah,
spoiler.
I like
Wow.
that. I like that.
Homie's dropping spoilers.
Okay,
But
so
yeah, big fan of that scene
big fan.
as an honorable mention.
I like that scene too, also by the way, because it makes you feel something a little bit. Like,
Yep, you kind of feel it, especially in like the middle, like right before the clones come in. They're like they're like surrendering,
yeah,
and you see Annie run around with a green blade, old green.
old greenie.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like that. I like the monsters too. Before the fight starts,
Hmm.
Padme gets her shirt ripped off.
Great scene.
Great scene.
That's a top 3 moment of Star Wars for me.
But
anyway, moving on to your second honorable mention. What do you got? This is number 7 for you, correct?
yep, Vader hallway scene, Rogue One.
Pass.
Knew it. What about you?
So go with 6, and then I'll go to 6.
Okay. So next one's the Ahsoka and Maul scene. Clone Wars season 7, episode 10.
Don't have it. Go for it.
So I don't want to talk about this one too much because it's a spoiler for what's going on currently. But this is kind of how this whole topic came up. Currently in the Clone Wars final season episodes that are going on is a 4-part arc that is going to finish out the season. And without going into the spoilers of it, this 4-part arc happens during episode 3, the movie.
It's wild.
It's insane. And the way they like lead into it and the way they just tie into it isn't like, it doesn't like smack you in the face. Like, and you know, it's not like the narrator's talking over saying during the times of episode 3 or anything corny. It's like you're following the storyline from like episode 5. And then all of a sudden it's like Obi-Wan and Anakin are about to go save Palpatine from the clutches of Grievous and Dooku.
It's very organic.
And it's like,
Very
whoa.
organic.
And they can't join Ahsoka on this other mission. So, like, that's like, without getting into any of the spoilers, like, that's what launches this 4-arc piece. So then Ahsoka.
It's crazy to see those choices and the impact they have on Star Wars as a whole.
Massive things. So, as you'll probably see in the rest of this list, is a lot of these things are going to be fights, right? Because Star Wars is at its best when it's simple and there's fighting. Because
that's what this list is. It's our top 5 favorite fights.
Yeah.
Or scenes involving lightsabers, I would say.
Well, because that's where the conflict and the resolution happens between the characters. And the conflict and resolution that happens between Ahsoka and Maul in episode 10 is insane. It's some of the best writing in Star Wars in a while. And all I'll say about it is it's the fight between the lesser of both evils. Maul is not the main Sith, and Ahsoka obviously left the Jedi Order. And it hits hard.
It does, man. Even for me, like, without getting into it, like, obviously I've said it 1,000 times. I have not watched all of the Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the biggest Clone Wars fan because I've only seen probably under 20 episodes total.
Yep.
I think you showed me some of like the key episodes with like some of the Maul stuff. And I know the gist just because I'm a Star Wars fan and I know it. Like I watched other things talking about it. But even for me, I felt something like between Ahsoka, who I was never really a big fan of. I've never really watched any episodes. Like I know her on a very face value. And Maul I obviously have more of a background in, but man, it hits.
Oh yeah.
It hit like the whole thing. Like
Yeah.
And the thing that kills me, and it's like, why is there more emotion in like actual like depth to a fight than like the entire sequel trilogy?
Dude.
Like it drives me nuts. Like fights are at their best in Star Wars, duels, if you will. It sounds a little more cool. It sounds cooler than fights.
Yeah.
They're at their best when there's emotional like backing to it. It drives me nuts that episode 9, besides like the ending, there was no reason for either of them to fight. Like Kylo and Rey, there was no reason for it.
Nope. Other than the fact that they didn't like each other.
Yeah, but that's not like they're not trying to stop each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kylo crushes the little thing, and says the only way you're getting to where you need to go in order to save the galaxy is through me, and she tries to kill him.
Yep.
That doesn't make any sense. But anyway,
No.
I digress.
Yeah. So that's where like this fight, it's got the emotion, it's got the weight behind it. I really wanted to put this in the top 5, but as you'll probably see from both of our top 5s, it's gonna be mainly saga film stuff. This is though, for me, one of the best moments from Maul, and Maul is one of my favorite characters in Star Wars. We can talk about him for hours. And
It's also really cool that Ray Park did the motion capture.
oh my god, that was so cool, so cool. And then
That
like
little behind the scenes thing was nuts.
hearing
I don't know who did Ahsoka, but
no, it was just some random person for that.
she's done I think she's done stuff for the games or
Yeah,
Rebels or something. I don't know, but
but
it was
she
really really cool how they incorporated like actual motion capture into the animation. It made it feel more alive.
well
It made
that,
it feel like Maul was fighting.
so there's a literal short piece that Star Wars put out about this film, and Sean and I both have watched it. But basically, it's like 6 minutes long, and Dave Filoni, the director, talks about this episode, and he calls it an operatic story. So it's dramatic. It's not a happy ending, but one of the reasons why that is so important is because of how poetic everything lines up. You know, like, and then the Sam Witwer, the voice actor for Maul, I don't want to spoil anything, but he's just like, I was told to direct this as if we were directing a movie, as we were like shooting a movie. Like, this doesn't feel like TV. It doesn't feel like small scale, you know, 2 characters you don't really care about, which it should, by the way. Face value, you're like Ahsoka and Maul, like those 2 characters don't mean anything.
Maul's dead.
They mean everything in this moment. They literally made a decision that could have changed the whole course of Star Wars.
Yep.
So check it out. It's really good. I don't want to dwell on it any longer. But
Crazy. That
Sean,
was your
man,
6, correct?
oh, yeah. What's your number 6?
My number 6, this is gonna kind of back what I just said, is the Kylo and Rey dyad fight.
Oh, I don't have that.
Just because it's really cool. Like at literal face value, it's super cool how they like shot and edited it.
Yeah.
Like between the 2 different like on the planet and then in the Star Destroyer. Like it was really, really cool to see.
Yeah.
Like that's something I go back and rewatch. The only bad thing about it is that it's really short.
It's really
not
short.
very long.
It's really short.
It's kind of deep, you
But
know.
it's not the
I don't know.
shortest Star Wars fight.
Nope.
But
No,
no,
it
it's
is not.
it's really short, and I like it because that. So like we talk about the Rey and Kylo stuff. There's good moments between these 2, and that is probably one of the better moments, other than when he like fully redeems himself at the end of 9. That like while he's bad Kylo, like he's menacing. Like he is menacing in that.
He's
And-
a badass in 9.
And you know, there's a little bit more of like a reason they should be fighting. You know, they like she's in his room, and he realizes it, and he's like, "Holy crap!" Like, you know.
A little slippery.
And then I also really like after that fight where they're in the hangar, and he's like standing there in front of like all the stormtroopers. That's got to be one of the most menacing like shots of Kylo Ren to me. He's just.
I mean,
like,
that was kind of the thing about that fight too, because he was like teasing her about her parents and all that kind of stuff too.
Mhm.
Even though like whatever about
Yeah.
the parents thing, but that's how like the fight ends. He's like, "I'll come tell you," and then like it just like goes away. It was cool. I don't
So
know. I
cool.
really like that.
and then destruction of the Vader helmet too, like the stand,
Very symbolic, you know.
symbolic. Yeah.
But it was a lot better than the Death Star fight.
I
in
like
my
that. I
opinion.
like that. All right. So we're through the honorable mentions now.
Let's get it.
Let's get at the top 5.
Give me
So
your number 5.
number 5 is the Rey and Kylo fight in episode 7.
Wow. Okay.
Do you
Go for it. I don't have it.
Okay, you don't have that. Okay, so I knew this one would become a curveball.
Wild ball.
Wild ball. Heard it here first on the Kevin and Sean show. # wild ball. I love this fight. I love The Force Awakens, to be completely honest. It's still one of my top 3 or 4 favorite Star Wars movies. It kind of varies in the day. It's a great movie. And I think one of the reasons why this fight for me is so good on the emotional side of things is it's full of hope. You know, we don't know at the time like what was happening like with the overall arc of the story, So like being in the theater 2015 style, like we are sitting in there and we see Ray and we see Finn, go up to try to beat Kylo and he gets his ass kicked
He
and
does poke him though.
he
He gets a
pokes
poke on
him,
him.
and then he gets his spine ripped up and you see the lightsaber fall in the sand and it's very
Snow.
reminiscent, sorry, the snow, and it's very reminiscent of the Empire Strikes Back scene with Luke, and the lightsaber starts flying through the air and it pops into Ray's hand. You're like, holy crap! Like,
Crazy.
like that reveal was really well done. And then the fight, as much as like it's annoying that she's so good, which is later then kind of explained with the Palpatine stuff. If you buy it, if you don't buy it, I'm sorry. But she fights Kylo. She doesn't really kick his ass by any means, but like she bests him. That's about it. And the cinematography is just gorgeous. I love the snow. I love it when she shoves his lightsaber in the snow and it like steams,
Well,
And
like it sizzles every time like a snowflake hits the lightsaber too.
yeah, and
Cool
like,
little detail.
cutting down trees and like, even like the behind the scenes like documentary of this, like how they built that whole set. And then even like, the emotion, and she has to finally tap into the force, like when they're like the fight, like that big clash at the end happens in like the blue and purple red light is like on her face and stuff. I don't know. I just really like this fight. It's very satisfying. Even though she bests him, even though it doesn't really make much sense that she bests him, like,
He also had a bowcaster shot to the chest
yeah,
like 5 minutes before that.
yep,
So
yep. And it comes right off the heels of Han being dead too. And in like, so Han dies, Finn goes down. You're like, holy crap, this guy is just hacking down our cast. And then Ray comes in and like, no, I don't know. I love this fight though.
really good.
It's really good. And also it was like the beginning of the modern Star Wars times. So it was like one of my first moments in theater as an adult. That was like, man, this is Star Wars. So,
Still get chills when she catches that lightsaber.
oh man, it's insane.
It's nutty,
But it
man.
does take me out of it though when the lightsaber sound isn't the same as the other.
Yeah, it varies through all three movies.
I don't like that. But any other comments on that fight, Sean?
I don't know. I mean, I'm a big fan of it. The only reason I left it off is because I think there's better stuff on there.
Yeah, I
But
respect that.
it's definitely in my top 10.
Yeah.
Love that fight.
So good.
Love seeing my boy Finn out there. He's kicking some ass.
I loved that tease though of like Finn being the Jedi. And then even like at the end of episode 9 where he's like force sensitive, like he hints toward it. I don't
They
know.
don't say anything about it.
I know.
Is that in the book, by the way?
It's in the book. It's in the book.
Is it force sensitive?
Yes. Yeah.
Does he come out and say that?
He doesn't explicitly say I am force sensitive, but Ray acknowledges that the fact that he has the feelings. Like not like the feelings of like I love you, like
I got the feels.
he's got like he's sensitive, So
Okay.
yeah, no, it's more fleshed out in the book than it is in the movie. But like the tease in episode 7 though is really good.
Even though he turns the lightsaber on with the wrong button.
Yeah, that scene's still good too, where he fights that
Oh man, I should have put that on there. I
know.
love that.
I thought about it. I really did. I thought about putting it honorable mention, but that was cool too. So anyway, love that scene. Sean, what's your number 5?
Number 5 is the Vader hallway scene from Rogue One.
I respect that.
I love this scene, man. Oh my god, I'll never forget. This is one of my favorite like Disney Star Wars era moments in theater. Like I was sitting next to Kev, and like this scene came on, and it was like, I don't even know what the line is. It's been a minute since I've seen the movie, but it's like we're sending a breach team or something, and then it's like this isn't gonna happen. Like there's no way. Like they're gonna cut. It's gonna just do something, and then like Vader's fucking in that hallway, and his like chest piece lights up, and this lightsaber. Oh man, nuts! I remember like.
You grabbed my legs so hard. You're just smacking.
I couldn't believe
me.
it, dude. I didn't think we're gonna get it. I remember it was rumored that like Vader was gonna have like a big scene in this movie. Like that was like the big talk for Rogue One forever.
Mm-hmm.
Was that? But the original rumor is that he was gonna storm the beach at Scarif, which originally it was.
Yeah.
Which honestly would have been sick too. That would have been nuts.
That would have been sick.
See him on the open battlefield, just like the comic books, man. Oh my god. But Oh, he's just slicing and dicing these guys, man.
Hmm.
Like that's peak Vader. Like,
Well,
oh my
it's that
god.
Vader we never get to see. You know, like
Well, he's scary, man.
he is scary.
Like I think we've said it before, but like Disney has done one thing really, really well, and that's make Darth Vader scary.
Hmm. He should
Like
be. He should be.
every piece of media that he's in, whether it's the comics, the books, the movies, the video games, for God's sakes, he is a scary motherfucker, dude.
Oh yeah.
Like, and that scene is like the epitome of that. Like he's blocking all these shots, and then he just sends them all back. Like
Hmm.
it's the Matrix.
Yep.
Puts a guy on the ceiling, cuts him in half. Like that's savage, dude.
It's savage, and so there's still that weight behind it because the
Oh
rebels
man,
barely escape to then send the transmissions to Leia, or Leia to send the
yeah.
transmissions out to Obi-Wan. You know, like all these different things. Like if that didn't happen and they didn't barely escape, they would have never been in such a rush. Leia would have never, helped me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. I love that because it ties it right back to 1977. You're like, at the end of that movie, you can literally start A New Hope a minute
Yep.
later, and you're right back in the same fight. Same cruiser, same everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
You're like, holy shit, I know what just happened.
yeah, and you understand why they're running. Like, this dude just showed up with a lightsaber and mowed down a hallway of people. Like,
Yep.
oh, it's so cool. So cool.
Well, you can just feel like the panic and like the rebels too, man. Like it was directed pretty well. Like the guy's like screaming, and you
Yep.
actually like buy it.
Yep.
You know, like it's scary, man. You're,
Oh,
like locked in a hallway with a pit bull. You know what I'm saying?
That's what, like, when you think of the Sith, like, that's what you should be thinking of. You shouldn't be thinking of, like, Count Dooku, like, I don't know. Count Dooku's not scary,
No,
Like, Asajj and Maul in Clone Wars are more menacing than Dooku is ever in the movies.
yeah, dude's not like menacing. He's just like, I don't know. He's got a presence, but
But why is he a Sith? Like, he's not that hacked
why is he
down.
like 85 years old?
Yeah. But, like, Vader, dude, I want more of that stuff. Like, it's hard. You gotta use it sparingly, but, like, that was executed very well.
Yeah,
Very
and they
well.
kept it under wraps for so long too. And then he's like barely in the movie at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the final cut, he's in like 4 minutes of screen time,
Which is fine. He still has the
which is
presence.
fine because of that payoff, though.
Yeah.
Because they teased him in the marketing and they were like, talking about who was in the suit,
Mm-hmm.
all that kind of stuff. They're beefing him up. And I'm like, but he's in there to stand and like sit and
Yep.
not do anything important. Man,
So good.
great scene.
So good.
All right, number 4.
Number 4. Ooh, this is gonna be the wild card of all of wild cards. Maul and Obi-Wan fight scene. Star Wars Rebels,
Oh, wow, you
Season
put that in
3, Episode 20.
Wow, you went for it.
I went for it. So, guys, if you have not seen this, I'm going to fully spoil it because there's probably no reason this should be in the top 5 other than it's when Darth Maul dies. Obi-Wan Kenobi beats
Dies
Darth
again.
Maul. So I put this top 4 because of the weight. So if you follow Darth Maul, obviously, like in episode 1, he's the Phantom Menace. Like, he is the bad guy in that movie. And Obi-Wan bests him, cuts his legs off, whatever.
Isn't Darth Sidious technically the Phantom Menace, though?
Technically, Phantom Apprentice, right? Whatever you want to call it. And you think he's dead, right? So then Clone Wars brings Maul back, and because he's not technically dead, because he's so wrapped up in the hatred for Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's crazy to think about that this guy lived falling through a shaft, getting sent across the galaxy, and then had robotic legs put on him by somebody, and then his whole arc
Like
in the
the
Clone
Night Sisters or
Wars
something?
is because he hates Obi-Wan and he wants to kill Obi-Wan. Because Maul lost his reign to power with Palpatine because of everything anyway. So Maul is like hacking down Mandalorians. He takes over Mandalore, kills Obi-Wan's girlfriend, crazy. And then the stuff with Ahsoka that's happening right now. He then goes and starts the underground with, the Crimson Dawn, which is good. And Solo, it's the best part of Solo. Only good part of Solo is Maul. And then in Rebels, he comes back after Crimson Dawn has fallen, and he meets up with Ezra, the Padawan, if you will, in that show. And there's a cool thing with Vader and Ahsoka, and they like fight, and like Ahsoka and Vader, like that was also almost an honorable mention for me, is like when Ahsoka and Vader fight. So after that, Maul still has to find his main quest. The whole time during all of this, all of these years, is to do one thing: kill Obi-Wan Kenobi. So he finally finds Obi-Wan. It's his whole mission. Season 3 Rebels. And they go to Tatooine where Obi-Wan is hiding, watching over Luke Skywalker. Are you kidding me?
No, that's what it is.
That's sick. And so Maul shows up. Obi-Wan's like, I've been waiting for you. He's all old and gray now. And then they start to duel, right? And it's this
They do
fastest
some sick posing.
It's the fastest duel ever. First, Obi-Wan does his normal, like, it's like stance 2 with his fingers pointing out, and, Maul, like, gets in his fighting stance 2, and then Obi-Wan changes to Qui-Gon's pose. Oh my gosh, crazy.
That's the best part of that fight for me, is like digging into it.
Yeah, yeah. He changes to Qui-Gon's pose, so then Darth Maul does the same. Darth Maul attacks Obi-Wan the same way he attacked Qui-Gon. Goes for the chuck, whatever you want to call it, the check. And Obi-Wan just slices right through him. It's the fastest fight ever. It's like 2 seconds long. And what killed Obi-Wan, what killed Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan's master, is what Obi-Wan does differently to kill Maul.
He counters it.
He counters it to kill Maul. And man, is that poetic. And is it sad? Because Maul spent so long hunting this dude down. Think of all the stuff he goes through. And
he's like the it's Greek. It's a Greek story. Is it? Oh, I can't think of what it is. He pushes the rock up the hill just for it to fall back down.
Oh, like the lattice thing or whatever.
Yeah, what's his name?
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway,
yeah, but it is. It's that's
he's the tragic villain.
It is. It really is. And another thing, like with the Ahsoka stuff, like once you guys watch that, like how many times Maul has been screwed over in his life, like it adds up. And for him to come to this so close to beating Obi-Wan, and the first thing he says to him, he goes, "Look how old you've gotten." Oh my god, I still
He's just talking
chills.
shit.
Yeah, and it's just good. I'm sweating right now thinking about this scene. I love this scene. It's my two
it's a
favorite
great
characters,
scene.
probably,
It really is.
fighting, for the last time. And there's so much you can dig into it. So
The shining light of Star Wars Rebels.
if you're looking for something to do in the quarantine, you can watch all the Maul stuff. Skip everything else, just watch Maul.
Yep.
What's your number 4?
Number 4 is Luke and Vader Jedi.
Pass. Kind of figured that was gonna happen.
Yep. All right, go for it.
My number 3 is Luke and Vader Empire.
Pass.
Pass. What's your number 3?
Duel of the Fates, man.
Oh wow. Okay, I'm excited to talk about this.
I love Duel of the Fates, man. I don't know.
More Maul stuff. More Maul stuff.
I'm a big prequelist, I'm gonna be honest. And like this fight ages pretty well, I would say.
Oh yeah.
Obviously the music kicks. Like it's pretty nuts. But I don't know, man. That fight is just insane. It's just like what a technical achievement it is. Come a long way from A New Hope with poking people.
Yep.
And it's like the peak of the Jedi, man. It's the peak of the Jedi, peak of the Sith, peak of lightsaber combat, and it's nuts. Is it a little over choreographed? Perhaps.
Probably.
But man, it's enjoyable as hell, man. It's so good.
Yeah.
Maul's a badass. Just ripping through. Then you feel it like Qui-Gon gets killed. Oof.
Ewan with the no.
Yeah, and he's screaming. Even though he could have used Jedi sprint or Force sprint to get there, but
and then Maul
never
like
used
goes back and forth on
pacing like a dog, man.
Oh yeah, he's just waiting.
Like George Lucas, man, give him the shit that you want, like for whatever. Man, that guy can make you give a shit about a fight.
Well, that's the thing. He's a storyteller. He's not the best director. He's not the best producer. He's the best cinematographer. But the guy can tell a story. And this scene kicks off the prequels in a fanatic way. It is so good. And in classic George Lucas fashion, he forgot that, I have to have the bad guy die or something like that. So he had to kill them all. But like, I don't care at the end of the day. I don't care about the rewrites.
It's so good, man.
I don't care.
I mean, the thing is too is like they say you can tell a good story when it can be still conveyed and told without dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
And like there are some quips in this like fight, but man, like if
Not
you just
much.
turned off the audio and just watched it, like you would know exactly what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's nuts, dude. All the little details and
Well, the music, dude. Oh my gosh.
music is legendary.
Yeah.
It's Duel of Fates is legendary. Will I say it's my favorite piece of music? No. Stay tuned for that. But man, it's up there and it gets used for everything. Like it's such an iconic moment. And it's the big redeeming factor of that movie.
It really is. It really is.
But I don't know, man. It's so good. What are your thoughts, man?
Dude, so it's hard for me not to put this one up there. One of the reasons why I put it in the honorable mentions is because I already have so there many mall things on my list. I have 3 mall scenes, by the way, on my top 8.
You gotta get some mall gear. You know what I'm saying?
I like Maul a lot. And this to me kicks off Maul. As much as it's his end for like most people in the world, it's the beginning of him. And the Qui-Gon thing too. I love Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon's one of my favorite characters. Liam Neeson kills it, obviously. But like, when Qui-Gon dies, that's a huge turning point for Obi-Wan, who is my favorite all-time character in Star Wars. Like, if Qui-Gon never died, Obi-Wan would have never became the master that he did, because everyone went through tragedy, and he would never be able to raise Anakin the way that he did, because Qui-Gon
Turn him
probably...
into the most powerful Sith Lord of all time to ruin the galaxy and kill all the Jedi.
But Obi-Wan didn't fail Anakin, though. Obi-Wan didn't fail him.
No.
And that's the thing,
he says he does.
like that scene, like talk as much crap about George Lucas as you want. Fine, I don't care. That scene sets up literally everything, because if Qui-Gon didn't die, Anakin would have been trained by Qui-Gon, and who knows what the heck would have happened next. But because Obi-Wan takes the reins on Anakin, the story that we know happens.
Well, I like it too because like it also spawned the best part of Clone Wars for me, which is Maul returning.
Oh, Maul returning, yeah. Dave Filoni just took that and ran with it. George Lucas said, "Here's the keys to the Lambo, and just ride, just go as fast as you can with it." And the Maul underground stuff is some of the best Star Wars underground stuff that there is.
Yeah.
So,
and even like after Qui-Gon dies, and they like do like the Qui-Gon dies music, which I think is literally what the track is called.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's no music.
There's no music, and it's just lightsabers clashing.
And the lack of music is effective as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Not in a way like Episode 9 when there's no music. I feel like they could have done something similar.
Yeah.
But they kind of did it the opposite way, though.
Well, how fast Ray Park is, too, dude. And like how
he's nuts, man. Like you see Darth Maul in like video games and like Clone Wars and stuff, and he's like nuts. He's insane.
Mm-hmm.
But Ray Park, man, he kills it. He absolutely destroys it. Even though they don't use his voice in that movie, which I think is funny. But yeah, I just think it's really well done. Like the weight's there.
Oh yeah, it's right there.
The choreography. I always mess up choreography.
The word?
It's a word I mess up more times than I say it correctly in the first try.
I can't say specific without thinking about it. So, all right, number 2 for Kev is Luke and Vader fight Jedi.
Go for it.
So, Sean and I both probably have very similar thoughts on this. I think, in my opinion, why Luke and Vader fight is higher on my list than the Luke and Vader fight in Empire is going to be is one of the reasons why mine is higher, is like they're flipped on our list or whatever. So Luke and Vader fight in both those movies is obviously iconic, right? But the Luke and Vader fight in Jedi, to me, has more weight, has more emotion. It shows the growth in both Vader, which is kind of weird to think about, and the growth in Luke. Obviously, Luke's got a different lightsaber color, which I like the green lightsaber of Luke a lot. I think it's
big fan of Old Green.
Big fan of Old Greenie, and huge
That's how I mentioned
disservice.
about the reference right there for you kids.
Super super disservice to it in the sequel trilogy. I
Not as
cannot.
much as Anakin's lightsaber, but go on.
I don't know, man. Anakin's lightsaber just
They chuck it down a mountain
they break it in half. I
and
would
break it in half. Ryan Johnson hates Anakin
I would
Skywalker.
have rather seen them do that all with the green lightsaber. It would have made so much more sense. Anyway,
Well, the thing is, I don't want to stay too much on this,
yeah.
but it pisses me off that it's Anakin's lightsaber, right? That's the significance of the fucking lightsaber.
Don't
They
even
don't say
start this.
Anakin once.
Best Star Wars content opinion. Best Star Wars content. I've been saying this for all week since Clone Wars has come out. The best Star Wars content is the stuff that's not afraid to say the word Anakin Skywalker.
100%.
Read the book of Rise of Skywalker. It's a different story because they say the words Anakin Skywalker in it. Watch the
Anakin's
movie.
my favorite character by far.
Oh
I
my
want to see
gosh,
him in
that
it. I
gets me
want to see
heated.
justice.
Don't even get me heated about that.
Yeah,
Oh,
keep going with the fights. This is
So
about
the
fights.
fight-
We can talk about
the fight is meaty, man. It's deep because it's the father versus son. This isn't Luke being like afraid. Oh my gosh, I have to save my buddies in Empire, which is still good and important. I'm not trying to trash that. We'll talk about that when we talk about on your list. But this is Luke as like everyone didn't want him to do this. This is him
Peak Luke.
personal. I have to do this to fulfill my destiny as a Jedi. Because the Jedi's destiny is to confront fear. And I agree with Ryan Johnson put that in Last Jedi. I think it rounds out the story of Luke and Vader from Jedi the most. This fight holds up since 83. I can watch this fight all the time. I like it. I think it's good. I think Palpatine is menacing. I think it shows the dog-like mentality of Vader. Like he's not the guy in charge. Technically, Luke's gonna replace Vader if he kills him. Like all these different things, and then that the iconic, Emperor Palpatine join me moment is one of my favorite join me's. The Luke one obviously with Vader in Empire is obviously more pop culture reference. The I am your father thing.
it's more iconic.
It's more iconic, but to me, the Emperor one is more like, okay, he's probably gonna flip. He probably should flip. And then also the symbology with
Symbology.
that's not the word I wanted.
That's a word. Symbolicism.
Symbolicism of Luke wearing all black and only having a white under flap is really good too. The redemption of
Under
Anakin.
flap.
Redemption of Anakin is so good still. So it's just
Yeah.
all good, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. So what's your number
Oh,
two?
it's so good, man. Like that fight gives me chills, especially with the music. I don't know. I always say the music like makes it for me, but like
does.
I don't know.
It does.
Like he's like Luke is angry for like the beginning of that fight, you know?
Oh yeah, he's pissed.
Like he's all pissed off.
Mark Hamill actually does a good job acting there too.
I know. And then he's like Vader's like when he's like hiding under the little thing, little
Mm-hmm.
walkway. And he's like, maybe your sister will. And then he says no. Like he screams no. Hits me in the face, man.
He's-
It's like I got a sister, you know?
Well,
I'll fuck with my sister.
yeah, yeah.
And then he's like hammering away at him and cuts his arm off. And then he's
What's
like, yo,
the thing, man?
my dad's just like me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going down the same path that he did.
We both have robotic arms.
Yeah, it's a big coming to Jesus moment, you know.
It really is. And then that's
No,
where he has
I
his
do.
change
I
of
really
heart.
love that fight. It was a toss up on where to put that for me.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought for the sake of mixing it up and
Yeah,
I like flashing double bladed red lightsabers.
I think of it as a kid too. Like that. I liked this fight more as a kid. I remember just thinking the green and the red like clash was different than a lot of the
It's
other
like
stuff.
Christmas.
And it's I don't know, it's just cool. Like it's just a cool fight. So yeah, man, what's your number two? I think I already know
Number
it.
2 is Vader and Luke
Yep,
from Empire
dude,
to flip it.
this iconic.
Oh, it's nuts, man. It's crazy, and like I haven't seen it in a minute, but I don't know this fight to me because I like seeing like the struggle right through the
Mhm.
hero's journey that
Oh,
Luke
yeah.
goes on. Like he's not good. He has no idea what he's doing. He's
Nope.
bitten off way more than he can chew.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't even the right decision for him to go confront Vader.
Yep.
Yoda tells him that. Obi-Wan tells him that, and he goes, "You know what? I gotta save my friends because I'm a good guy." And then Vader just toys with him, man. Like you want to talk about menacing?
Mhm.
Vader is menacing in this. Like it's good. Like, and he's just messing with me. He's throwing shit at him off the walls. And
That.
Luke's just like, I'm beat. Like, what are you gonna do? What can I do?
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously the iconic "I am your father" moment. The "Join me, we can overthrow the emperor." All that kind of stuff. It hits me, man.
Yep.
I love that scene. I love that movie. I've always been an Empire over Return of the Jedi guy anyway.
Yeah, I agree with
So
that though.
that's kind of the bias for me. Is the Jedi one maybe more exciting, maybe a little more flashy, maybe a little more weight, maybe? But I've always been more of an Empire guy, like for as long as I can remember.
One of
And
the
then
things
you lose that lightsaber. That's a big moment too.
it's
Even though
big.
someone just randomly finds it and gives it back to Maz Kanata.
Yeah, it's his father's lightsaber that he doesn't know it's Vader. It's
Right?
crazy.
That's big, man.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Like I don't know. And like I love the smoke. You know, he like shoves the little smoke thing in his face.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know.
Well, Luke can't. He doesn't fight Vader as a Jedi in this movie, and it's kind of
No.
cool because we
It's
give.
like Finn fighting Kylo.
It is. It is. But
He's picking up a stick and he's trying to fight the biggest badass in the galaxy.
yeah, he has no idea what he's doing, and he
It's all heart.
loses. He's
fighting
loses.
straight from the heart.
I like this fight because the hero loses.
Yeah.
Obviously, he like escapes. Okay,
But
fine.
he got beat.
But he got beat. Like he got his
not
hand cut
him.
off, beat.
Like, you don't expect Luke to win this fight, but because it's a movie and it's a kids movie, you expect him somehow to win.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's for me where like The Force Awakens gets it wrong.
Yeah.
You know, like that fight.
Well,
Familiar. I still love that fight.
I think
it's
it
one
should
of my
have
favorite
happened-
moments of that movie, of the sequel trilogy. But it's the same situation, and she kicks his ass. Granted, it's different circumstances. Kylo's shot in the chest or stomach or whatever, so he's weakened.
Mhm.
But that, like, for me, that could have changed the entire trajectory of the sequel trilogy off the rip.
This is something I've been thinking about a lot since The Last Jedi came out. So this is a little off topic, but it's gonna circle back to the Empire thing. So we just said that we like because the hero loses, right? We keep that Rey wins against Kylo, right? But in the next movie, at the end of Crate, when Luke shows up, put Rey out there and have her get her ass kicked. She's down for the count. And then Luke comes in and does what he does.
Yeah, I mean,
There's different ways.
The Last Jedi is full of missed opportunities.
That's a different thing that happens there. That would be so different.
Imagine even if she does get beat down and the movie ends with her being captured.
Yeah. Have her lose. Have her lose.
That's my problem with it, man. Like, I'm not.
I don't think it would have worked as well in the Force Awakens. I definitely see what you're saying, but like I think going back to Empire and why that movie is so iconic 40 years later, literally to this month, is because it's not what anyone expected. The father thing is one thing. That's a pop culture thing that will be echoed for 100 more years. But the fight that Luke goes through in himself, struggling that, like, I don't know where I'm at in the world. I'm by myself. Uncle Owen is dead, burned up by a
crispy.
flame trooper,
Or Boba Fett.
He can never get to go to Tashi Station. You want to get those power converters. The hero's journey is not a straight line. And this movie shows that.
You have to enjoy the journey sometimes,
Oh, yeah. I love that fight, though, man. I love this conversation so much.
It's a great conversation. I'm
So-
in a great mood right now.
Our number one, I'm assuming, is the same.
Ready for it? Hold on. Drum roll. You probably can't hear that.
Obi-Wan
All right, on
Anakin
three. Ready?
fight.
1, 2, 3. Yoda versus Count Dooku.
Underrated fight, by
Little-
the way.
Green CGI Yoda. Yeah! He's screaming his head off for some reason and flipping around. No, I don't know. I don't hate that, but whatever.
Yeah.
Anakin versus Obi-Wan. We both know this.
Anakin versus Obi-Wan. Best moment in Star Wars, period.
2 hands down. I don't know if anybody can fight me on this. I don't think anybody can convince me that anything is better than Anakin versus Obi-Wan. It's the climax that we have been waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
The entire prequels is a big tease for the ending of this movie. And Fight's long as shit.
Fight's
Fight's
like
like
20
12
minutes.
minutes long, like of actual screen fight time. And
Yeah,
it's just
and it's not including the interdubbed Palpatine Yoda fight,
no,
which is
no.
also cool, by the way. But this is the Obi-Wan Anakin fight. Screw the Palpatine stuff, which is fine. This is the Obi-Wan and Anakin fight. Okay.
Blue on blue.
Blue on blue. So okay, I'm gonna go first on this because I'm sweating right now. This fight, talk about weight in a fight. Talk about meaning. Talk about depth. Talk about all the things that we've talked about that makes a good moment in Star Wars. This fight has it. It's heartbreaking. It's not even like fun to watch sometimes because it is sad. It's very sad.
Two brothers fighting, man. Like,
yeah. And the way it starts, like with Padme, being there, and
just builds up the tension,
it
man.
builds that tension up, and then Obi-Wan comes down, and as much as it's funny that like Hayden is like still really bad at dialogue.
You will try.
Liar.
I don't know. You feel it though, man.
Oh yeah.
The thing is,
that's the thing.
You accept Hayden though. You know what I'm saying?
In that
he's
moment,
directed that way, but it also hits different.
In that moment, he is Anakin.
Yep.
That is raw Anakin. He is struggling. There's something in him.
It's Darth Vader.
It's the beginning.
That's Darth Vader right there, man.
So it was funny because like, it's funny as like, the Jedi Temple scene, it's badass that he like walks in and then kills all the younglings and stuff like that. But like that is
I should have put that at number 1.
I know.
Damn it.
I know. I thought about putting it honorable mention.
Master Skywalker.
But it's not he is enraged at this point. Not because he was told to. He's not out here killing people just to kill people. This is Obi-Wan. This is Padme.
It's Obi-Wan's fault.
He blames it on him.
He should. It's his fault.
And it's imagine being Obi-Wan though, like showing up and like knowing that he's not good, but like then seeing him and he's like not good.
Well, his eyes are like tripping out.
Yeah.
But imagine if Padme just went by herself, man. It
wouldn't be the same. It would not be.
Be the same. The fact that homeboy's hiding in her closet, and then he shows up. Oof, man.
And then, so then you get into the fight, right? And obviously, it's really flashy. It's very choreographed.
Fast. It's fast as hell.
Mm-hmm. And
but the problem, the over choreographedness of it, is not the same problem that the over choreographed Duel of Fates is. The problem with Duel of Fates being over choreographed is they're making they're spinning lightsabers and swinging at parts that aren't like kill shots.
Yeah. Well,
this is all like conflict. Like this is like attack and defense, but it's really fucking fast.
They are only attacking and defending each other. That's it.
Yes.
That's it. So, they go through the fight and the music is just
the music
is so intertwined.
Let's take a minute here. Not pour one out, but let's soak in John Williams and his brilliance for this piece. It's insane.
It's the most underrated Star Wars music.
Nobody cares. People care, but it's prequel music. They go, Duel of Fates is better.
Of course,
Duel of Fates is not better than this.
Duel of Fates is not better. There might be more iconic things like the opening theme and the Emperor's and the Imperial March. Fine, I'll give you it's more iconic. This music matters. It is a straight up chaotic piece. Nobody reperforms this piece, by the way, because it's insanely hard. And it's just it's chaotic because these two brothers. It was the perfect story. They could have,
You're the chosen one. You're supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them.
I can't even say it. It makes me
tear up, man. That ending gets me when he's just cooking.
Yeah.
He's like, you were my brother. I loved you.
Yeah, I wasn't even there to that part yet, man. Because it's just like
it's crazy.
The dialogue in this is intentional. It's good. It's not overdone. As much as there's like funny quips, maybe, but like
it's their battle of ideals, man.
Yes, it is. It really is.
Like the ignorance of the Jedi is real.
Real.
From a certain point of view.
It's very real.
But it's very real, and Obi-Wan's even fighting with it in this fight.
Because he knows. And Anakin isn't completely in the wrong for the way he feels. It's just he doesn't have to go on a killing rampage. He could have just killed the Emperor and then, dealt with it diplomatically, probably. But like,
Well, that's what he wanted to do with Padme. He said, I'm stronger than the Chancellor. I can overthrow him, you know? He could have, but
you
Padme
could
was
have.
like, no, bro.
Yep.
You killed younglings? I'm out. I'm out skis. I don't
So
know. This
good.
fight, man, I don't want to just like suck it off, but like it's so good. If you don't like Star Wars, I get it, right? It's kind of hard to get into if it's not something you're into.
Mm-hmm.
Just watch this fight, man. I've turned people. I've
No.
taken
Yeah.
Star Wars virgins who are so against Star Wars, never seen it, never really had any interest. I said, yo, watch this. And they became Star Wars fans, like dead ass, like one, saga. We talk about it still,
Well,
you know.
it's funny because like, when Charlie and I saga, this is her. It's one of her favorite parts, but it's her least favorite part at the same time because of how much weight and how kind of sad it is.
It's heartbreaking, man.
It
This
is,
whole fight is heartbreaking.
and then it is the beginning of what Darth Vader as we know him is, right? Obviously, at the end, I have the high ground. Great, great stuff, and it just shows. It just shows like these
Shows
people.
how far gone Anakin actually
It
is.
really does. It really does because he's stupid enough to try to do something against his master, and like shows like Obi-Wan is like an adult now too. Like he is fully set in that he is General Kenobi. Like he is, you know, he's the master. He's like
Yeah.
he is Anakin's master.
Well, the next time they meet is, in A New Hope.
Technically,
Makes more weight there.
yeah.
I don't know. That gets me, man. Like all the dialogue is intentional. It's not
Yep.
overdone.
Yep.
Like they're even subtle things. Like Anakin like clocks Obi-Wan in the face. Like that's a dirty move.
So good. So good.
So that's it though. The unanimous winner of the best lightsaber scenes is Anakin versus Obi-Wan. Round of applause, everybody. We did it.
Dude,
We
I
made it through.
couldn't even. This was a great conversation.
This was a great conversation. We've been on it for
57 minutes, man.
holy shit. 50 minutes of this show has been
Yeah.
damn, but I'm not even upset about it. That's a solid episode right there.
Yeah. No, it is.
If you like Star Wars, if you hate Star Wars, don't hate Star Wars.
Don't watch these fights. Go on YouTube and just watch these fights.
That's what you should do. You should listen. You know what you should do, listener? I'm talking all 20 of you. Maybe the 21st person who doesn't know anything about us, has never watched Star Wars. You follow along. As we're talking about our rankings, look up the fights.
Mm-hmm.
And then watch it. Be like, holy shit, that's actually pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
These guys like it. These guys seems like these guys are stand-up guys. I should listen to these guys and let us know. You know.
Let us know. Let us know.
But on that note, Kev, do you want to get into other stuff, or do you want to just call it there? Put a bow on this incredible Star Wars episode.
You know what?
And put a pin.
This episode deserves its own episode.
I agree.
So let's just wrap it up at that. Guys, tease for next week. Your boy Kev, he finished God of War. And I have some opinions.
Yep.
So we'll talk about that next week. We'll talk about the Star Wars Clone Wars, the final season, when it's all done.
As well as The Mandalorian, episode 1 of the new docu-series.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for that.
There's so much Star Wars coming out next week. There's so much. Oof.
It's going to be good.
And you finished God of War. We're going to talk about God of War. Maybe we should talk about our top. Maybe we should talk about our favorite PlayStation games.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we could do.
If you guys like this top 5 list, just let us know. Throw us a comment. Send us a DM on the IG, the Instagram, and just let us know, guys. Because this has been a blast. Sean, man, I love talking Star Wars with you.
One of my favorite things to do, man, is talk some Star Wars.
So,
ooh, the last piece of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I want to pour one out for this. This is when I want to pour out one.
Yeah.
The final Battlefront 2 update went live this week. The game is still being supported. There's still servers. People are still playing it. It's more popular now than it was 2 years ago when it came out.
Yep.
I want to officially pour one out for Battlefront 2. It's been a great run.
Sleeper, man. Sleeper. That almost got an honorable mention for me, too. Guys, Battlefront 2, great game, but there's a campaign in there, and that campaign's worth it. It's not hard. It's not long.
Pretty solid. It's not bad.
There's a book that leads up into it that's even better. Great story, though. Great story.
I agree.
So,
but anyway, guys,
there you have it.
Have a happy May the 4th. Celebrate accordingly. Please let us know. We will let you guys know on our IGs as well as our official IG that is now live.
So check that out.
Check it out.
Episode
Give us a
11
follow.
is in your ear holes. Man, what a ride.
What a fluffing ride.
Guys, we'll see you next week. This is Kevin Sean Joe.
See ya.